Hi guys, welcome back to Pinky Pete's Closet channel. In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to do proper body measurements, and I'm the model.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and in today's class I'm going to be showing you all how to take kiddies accurate body measurements. I decided to use a human model so that we can actually understand how perfectly we need to take these measurements. Okay, to do that I'm going to ask Caris to tilt to one side of her body. Tilt. Okay, so when she do that, I'm going to tie this measuring tape across like so. Do you see? And this becomes her half length and also her true waistline. So next I'm going to measure from her shoulder to her waistline to get her half length. So I'm going to place my measuring tape like this from the apex of her neck like this. I'm going to throw my measuring tape across to this point. Okay, this now becomes her half length. I'll also measure her waistline on the same place where I placed this measuring tape to get her true waist measurement. And look at how I'm holding this tape. If I hold it like this to measure, putting my hands like this, it is very wrong. So when you measure, just a tip like this is okay. Okay, you may have to hold your child. You know, children, they to get them to stay is actually difficult. So this is how we do it, like this. Next, we measure her chest circumference. If we stand like this, so you place your measuring tape like this and measure her chest. After that, we measure her gown length. Place your measuring tape like so and make sure your tape goes across her chest. Don't do this. It has to go across her chest all the way down, all the way down to your desired length. If you also want this gown to be a short gown, it's still the same thing. You can decide, you can decide to stop at her knee side. Okay, for the sleeve measurement, you have to start from the backbone like this and measure all the way down. If you want to stop anywhere you want to stop, it could be at the elbow, it could be at the wrist. When you're done with that, you measure her round elbow measurements. Make sure it's not tight because children, they don't like anything that makes them uncomfortable. Next, you measure the wrist. Make sure it's free. You also measure her round armhole measurements. Now, if you are making an off-shoulder gown, it's important you add up to the measurements you are making. You measure her upper chest measurement. Yes, so you need to measure this part and hold your tape up like this, like so, and also around shoulder measurement like so. If you notice, I came down from the shoulder, I came down a little bit like this to measure it. If you take this measurement correctly, by the time you finish sewing this gown, it will rest properly on your child's arm. If you measure it at the tip of her shoulder like this, it is wrong. It will not give you that fitting. Next, for the off the shoulder, we have to measure the front width like so. Is actually a guide when you are drafting the basic borders. It's a guide, okay, and make sure that it is 1 inch apart from the nipple point. It's 1 inch apart like this, and on this other side. Okay, and next you have to determine your neck depth. How deep do you want this? How deep do you want this gown? Okay, if you look here, we have 2 inches, and to me it's okay. You can also make it 2.5 or 3 inches. It depends on the depth or the design that you are making. You know, there are children we shouldn't do too much. Okay, we shouldn't, reveal their chest too much. Next, we'll do the trouser measurement in case you want to sew trouser for your child or jumpsuit. So you start by measuring the band. That is the down part of the waist. You measure it like so. And next, measure their hip measurement. So make sure it's free like this. Next, we'll measure their thigh, round thigh measurement. Please don't measure this way. Please keep your legs straight, baby. Make sure you take your measuring tape up like so. Next, we measure the round knee measurement. Tilt your knee, baby. Okay, ask your baby to tilt her knee like this so that you can get the round knee measurements. Next, we measure her round ankle measurements. Make sure you take your measurements from under the tip of her leg. Next, we take the full length of this trouser. So you place your measurement from her waist down to the floor. Okay, next you measure from the waist to the knee length. Okay, you also measure from the waist to the hip point. Is important so they can draft the trouser accurately. And if you're making a jumpsuit, you have to place the measurement from her neck, go across her chest, and then go straight down to the floor. Okay, for now, this is all for the kiddies measurements. I hope this is comprehensive enough for you. Okay, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you like and share. Thank you for watching.